Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good day to Madam Nurhati Matnur and our fellow classmates. We are from Group 1 ACC407 BA09, and today we are honored to present our Project 1 for the course Financial Accounting and Reporting. The purpose of this project is to explore the real-life application of financial accounting principles in sole proprietorship or financial businesses. For our project, we selected a local tailoring business that has not only built a name in its community but also demonstrate how small businesses operate using basic accounting practices. The business is called Kedai Jahit Kujahit alias Zuliza Enterprise, or more commonly known as Aisyah Tailor. Before we begin, allow us to introduce ourselves. My name is Idina Aisyah binti Zahori, metric number 2025143231. Together with me is Muhammad Adam bin Zapur Nizam, metric number 2025105855. Muhammad Daniel Haikal bin Raji'i, metric number 2025110387, and Nurul Syafiqah Hidayu binti Udin, metric number 2025109545. We have conducted a site visit, met with the business owner, and compiled our findings into this presentation. Let us now begin with the background of the business. Business background. Kedai Jahit Kujahit alias Zuliza Enterprise or Aisyah Tailor is located at number 25-1 Jalan Bidara 8, Sarjana Utama 3, 47000, Sungai Buloh, Selangor. It is owned and operated by Puan Siti Aisyah binti Muhammad, a talented tailor with years of experience. She began this business as a personal hobby, and through dedication and word mouth to mouth, it grew into a registered tailoring services. The business is officially registered under the Company Commission of Malaysia, known as SSM, in accordance with the Business Registration Act 1956 and 1957. It operates as a sole proprietorship, meaning that all decisions, responsibilities, profits, and risks fall entirely on the owner. To start the business, Puan Siti Aisyah invested around Rm30,000 ringgit from her own savings, showing her true entrepreneur courage. The business also offers several services, which is sewing custom clothes for women and children, alteration services such as resizing or repairs, selling home products like pillowcase, tablecloth, and ironing board covers, conducting sewing lessons for those interested in learning the trade. The daily operations follow a simple but effective cycle. Number 1, Puan Siti Aisyah purchases fabric and sewing materials from local suppliers. Number 2, she and her team organize and sort the materials in store. Number 3 is fittings arranged with customers. Number 4 is they then produce and finish the garments or products. And lastly, the orders are either delivered or picked up by customers. She runs the business with the support of her family and a small team of helpers. This hands-on management style is typical for sole proprietorship, where the owners play a central role in every part of the business. In summary, Kedai Jahit Kujahit is a great example of successful small business that integrates personal passion, community service, and practical financial management, all without losing its personal touch. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Nurul Syafiqah Hidayu binti Udin, and today I will be presenting about the business characteristic of our selected business, which is Kedai Jahit Kujahit, also known as Aisyah Tailor. Let's begin by understanding what we mean by business characteristic. These are the key features that define the nature, structure, and operation of a business. For Aisyah Tailor, there are several important aspects that I will explain in detail. Firstly, the legal status and registration. Aisyah Tailor is officially registered with the Companies Commission of Malaysia SSM. The business operates under the Business Registration Act of 1950 and 1957, which is the requirement for all business in Malaysia to ensure that they are going to recognize this registration, not only allow the business to operate legally, but also build trust and with customers and suppliers. It also allows the business to open a bank account under the business name and enjoy basic legal protection. Secondly, the form of business ownership. Aisyah Tailor operates as a sole proprietorship, which means it is owned and managed by only one person, Puan Siti Aisyah binti Muhammad. In a sole proprietorship, the owner has full control over the business. She is the one who makes all the major decisions and oversees the daily operation of the tailoring shop. However, she is supported by her family members and a few staff in managing the shop and serving customers. Third, the source of capital. The business is self-funded, meaning that Puan Siti Aisyah started the business using her own saving, which is around 30,000. She did not rely on loans or external investors. This shows her strong personal commitment and confidence in the success of her business. Self-funding also gives her complete ownership and control without any debt obligations or pressure from external shareholders. Fourth, the aspect of management and control. Because this is a sole proprietorship, the business is fully managed and controlled by Puan Aisyah. She is involved in every part of the business process, from accepting the customer order, managing staff, sourcing material from suppliers, to ensuring that all Swings projects are complete on time. This hand-on management style allows her to maintain the quality of work to ensure customer satisfaction. In addition to that, her family members play an important role by helping with tasks like cutting fabrics, ironing, packing, and even delivering finishing goods. Fifth, let's talk about liability. One important characteristic of a sole proprietorship is the owner has unlimited liability. This means that if the business incurs debt or loses, Puan Aisyah is personally responsible. There is no legal separation between her personal asset and the business. For example, if the business cannot pay its bill, the creditors can claim her personal saving or property. While this increases financial risk, many sole proprietors accept this trade-off for the full control they enjoy. Sixth, the distribution of profit and loss. In this business, all the profit belong entirely to the owner, Puan Aisyah. She gets to keep the full income after expenses are paid without having to share with anyone else. However, if the business suffers a loss, she alone will bear the consequences. This motivates her to work hard and maintain the business performance because her personal income depends entirely on its success. 7. The accounting obligation, unlike companies or partnership. Sole proprietorship like Aisyah Tailor are not legally required to keep formal accounting books or prepare detailed financial statements. However, for the purpose of internal monitoring and planning, Puan Aisyah still maintains basic financial records. This helps her to track income, expenses, and ensure that the business is sustainable. She's also used simple tools like mobile apps and spreadsheets for this purpose. These characteristics highlight the flexibility and simplicity of running a sole proprietorship business, but they also show the risk involved when there is only one person in charge of everything. That concludes my explanation of the business characteristics. Thank you for your attention.
Now we are talking about non-current asset of Aisyah Tailors to run their business. Firstly, mannequin. These are used to show finished clothes to the customers. They make the product look nice and easy to see. Second, sewing machine. They use three types: side sewing machine for edges, straight sewing machine for seams, and an electronic sewing machine for detail work. This machine help make clothes quickly and neatly. Third, clothes hanger. This keep the shirts tidy and easy to see when displayed to the customers. Fourth, the steam iron and ironing board. They use this to remove wrinkle from clothes before they are finished and given to the customers. Lastly, and the most importantly, they need a premise. This is where all the work happens. Without the shop, they could run the business. Next, we'll discuss about the current assets of Aisyah Tailors. These are short-term resources used daily to create custom clothing. The two key assets are threads and clothing material. First, threads. They are used to sew and stitch garments. Aisyah Tailors stocks threads in various colors and strengths to match customers' order. Without threads, no clothing can be assembled or repaired. These are fabrics like cotton, silk, or denim, chosen based on customer requests. For example, light cotton for summer shirts, thick wool for winter coats. Materials are purchased upfront and used immediately to fulfill orders. Threads and material are essential current assets because they are consumed quickly in production. They directly impact the tailor's ability to deliver order on time. In short, threads and clothing material keep Aisyah tailors running daily. They are the basics needed to meet customer demands. Now, let's look at capital of Aisyah tailor's business. The business was fully financed by Puan Aisyah personal saving. She invested RM30,000 as startup capital. This capital cover premise rental, utilities, equipment, and initial clothing material. With this investment, Puan Aisyah established the foundation for her tailoring business. Now, let's review the monthly operation cost, which is expenses of the business. For utilities, Puan Aisyah pay for electricity to run the business. For wages, Puan Aisyah employ 1 workers, 1 Aisyah daughters. Fabric and threads material purchased as needed based on customer's order. Machine maintenance cost RM250 per machine, and Puan Aisyah have to maintain 5 machines. And finally, rental RM800 per month for their space premise. Now, look at Aisyah tailors' 3 main revenue sources. First is tailoring charges. Aisyah tailors charge for custom clothing, alteration, and repairs. Price depend on the work needed. Provide affordable rates for the community. Second, ready-made product. Aisyah tailors sell convenient household items including pillowcase, various size and fabric, tablecloth for dining table of different dimension, ironing board covers, durable and heat resistant. These are available for immediate purchase. Third, tailoring classes. Aisyah tailors offers basic sewing lesson, learn essential skill like operating the sewing machine, simple clothing repair, measuring and cutting fabric. All these services help them serve different customer needs while growing their business.
Okay, for the recording process, we are going to discuss about 2 things. The first one is the monetary process in the business, and the second is inventories. Alright, for the monetaries in the business, this business use 2 methods of payment: conventional cash payment and the QR code. And inventories is by using an app called the Jahit app. Puan Aisyah have been using these ways for a long time, but only just QR code for the payment process that has been adopted recently following the new technological development. Now we continue to the next thing, the strength and the weakness of this process. The first one, the strength of the cash payment. The first point is about no transaction fees. It doesn't charge you up for the fees on each transaction. You will pay the right amount exactly on what you're buying. Next is simple and quick. Just carry the amount of money you wanted, and when you make any purchasing, just hand over the money to the seller and it's done just like that. The last is security. Cash doesn't leave a digital trail, which can be safer in terms of identity theft or data breaches. You're not sharing banking details or cards. Once a cash purchase is made, there's no dispute over funds. The transaction is final and fully settled on the spot. Now we move to the weaknesses of the cash payment. Risk of theft or loss. This is a risk for cash payment users. Since the cash is valuable item when making a purchasing process, users tend to expose to the risk of stolen or loss of the cash. Surely, this is an uncontrollable nature. Cash have existed for a long time, and this issue do not have the right way to prevent, but only a precaution can be made by the users. Next is the lack record of keeping. Since it is easy to handling a cash transaction, the record keeping cash payment is very terrible. A human tend to be forgetful every time. Sometimes you not keep up where the money come in or come out with its purpose. If you are disciplined enough to record it, but most of the time you will never remember all this kind of transaction. It is hard to trace back why the movement of cash is happened, especially in a daily life. And the last weakness is limited for large transaction. Some of the business do not accept cash payment with a big amount, and also the customer or consumer do not always bring out a big amount of money everywhere on these days, since it is very risky. So we can say it is a lag reason why cash payment not always the right way in any making purchasing or in any purchasing situation. Now we're moving on to the QR payment. The first one is convenient and fast. QR payment is also a good way because it is an alternative way for the people who do not always have a cash on hand. It is more convenient because it just requires you to have a smartphone that support a QR payment. It is fast because the payment is made directly from your phone to the machine QR code. The movement also reduced. Just a hand gesture works on this payment. Next is contactless, scan by phone. QR payment existed after the pandemic. On those days, all kinds of activity are limited. All people are required to obey the rules of contactless interaction. So it does to the payment process. A cash payment tends to make a spreading of the virus instantly to the people. So that's why QR payment is introduced. Just open your online banking app and use the QR payment option, proceed to the scan QR code, and last, make the transaction. And last is automatic transaction recording. This is the benefit of QR payment. All kinds of transactions will be recorded in your online banking app history. This approach can let you know on where the money comes and go for, and will be reference of your finance. And now the weaknesses of QR payment. Require an internet or smartphone. Not everyone has the privilege to own a phone and internet. In some areas, the internet coverage is not accessible. In this case, the customer or the seller did not get a chance to adopt this kind of advanced payment and back to the old way of payment method. An online banking system indeed needs an internet to get it function, but after all, it's just one of the weaknesses of QR payment. And next is limited use in offline transaction. Same as the first one, it will never function at all if you don't have the internet. Online banking will never get to the same level as offline transaction. Sometimes if you happen to be in the situation of purchasing or selling and your bank or internet can be accessed, you need to have some cash to complete the purchase so it can cover your payment process. And last is widely exposed to a fraud payment. Even though the existence of modern payment methods can make an easy outcome for the people, QR payment is widely exposed to fraudulent activities. Irresponsible people were likely to share or display a fake QR code with the people, and customers will be fooled by this act. They will make a transaction to the wrong person and not the right machine. Move over to the inventory process. Now about the strengths. The first is about accuracy and consistency. Using an application to track your movement inventory is good since it is automatically practical and convenient for the business owner. And the second is easy access. This app is accessible anytime and monitored by the owner remotely. Even if you are not in the premise area, facing a moment that makes you need to spectate of movement inventories, the owner can just open this app and get into it. And last is time efficiency. It is saving time a lot. The owner can click the item and brought into the business, and same goes when it's going out from the business. Overall, it's one of the benefits of this method. And now the weaknesses. Costing. The business owner needs to subscribe its plan in order to use this app and services. Now it will be considered as expenses to the business owner. And the second is dependence on technology. A modern method requires a modern tools. This approach makes you need to have a right medium to access this thing. And an owner needs to have at least a smartphone to use the Jahit app for the set is good and function. Lastly, ongoing maintenance. Not every modern technology have their disadvantage. Any kind of software or app frequently to get up to date. It is for its own good to keep the use of the app, but sometimes it happens at not the right time, especially when the needs of the app to be used.
That's all from us. Thank you.